Are you feeling that little bit of lull right now? Like that little bit of dopamine letdown? As humans, we're often thinking like, where are the 40% gains in one day, right? Well, sometimes they're here and sometimes they aren't. But if you got into the Solana ecosystem projects we covered, Intersola, Solminter, or even Solana, you still might be feeling that dopamine hit, right? Because those are not feeling boring. But what we don't want to do, though, is chase those dopamine hits, as they often reverse at some point after some crazy gains. Chasing is what new people in this space do, and it often leads to huge reversals and then some big losses, and then many people exit the system because they don't give themselves enough time to become good at this. Because is it fair to say in anything in life we're bad before we're good? And why would crypto be any different, right? A lot of people come into this space thinking it's all pie in the sky and they're never going to incur some losses. And then they lose after winning a little bit. And then they're out. You're always bad before you're good. So how do you get good? Well, it's just recognizing the cycles. So if you're feeling the market and your fingers on the pulse right now, you're probably feeling that the hype cycle is shifting from NFTs to, say, Solana, Phantom, and even possibly the Luna ecosystem. And that shift is cool and it's normal. And then it will shift again to a new narrative in about a month or so. So what we do is look at what's pumping, what was pumping, and what might be pumping soon. So together, why don't we make some guesses? By the way, I hope you've been enjoying TA Day with Paul. For those of you who are new, TA does not stand for what you might think. It has nothing to do with female body parts. It stands for technical analysis. And Definity has been nice enough to lend Paul to us for the show, and I love his perspective. Also, I want to thank EtherCards for their sponsorship. We love your NFT tech that allows any NFT contracts to be upgraded and do incredible things, as well as the artwork in your own NFTs. We also love your giveaway of 27 CryptoPunks, though I'm not sure how I will be able to get my hands on enough dust, 1 million dust, to get one of those CryptoPunks myself. But because I'm holding some more Ether cards myself, I do look at the dust rewards like a gift airdrop for those of us holding some of your cards, so thank you very much. Alright, now to the guesswork. Alright, NFTs pump tremendously and even possibly will settle for several months. But blockchain gaming projects and NFTs with gaming utility are still pumping. You probably saw that Pocoland dropped today with some crazy numbers. And then a healthy retracement. But I think even after the healthy retracement was sitting at over 10x from its IDO. My guess is that blockchain gaming will still continue to pump depending on what is going on with the specific project. Now, I want to share with you a blockchain gaming project that will be coming very soon, and we'll be doing a sale of their lit pets. That's lit pets, not lit pets. Yep, I know, they're said the same way, but you'll find out as you get a little bit of the storyline later, I'm not going to cover it today, what lit means specific to this game. So they'll be having a sale of their lit pets as well as a land sale, and it's been in active development for 3 years. And development in different stages, non-active development, but developing the lore and everything for much, much longer. So if you saw my interview with Devio months back, this is built by the same company and on Devio's blockchain, which can do millions of transactions per second. Yep, you heard that right, millions. Now, keep in mind, Solana can do 30,000 transactions per second. Now, has Devio been severely stress tested with tons of things hitting it? They've done lots of tests on it, but it hasn't had 1 million users using it at the same time yet. So we will see how it performs then. And we're going to find out soon enough, because through this game, so many of the items that you can farm, mine, or craft all go on the blockchain and will be generating hundreds of millions of transactions in as soon as the coming month. So if you remember, I do believe in Devio enough that I invested some amounts of my gains into Devio months and months and months ago. So I'm not 100% objective on them. Obviously, I believe in them a lot myself. Let me share with you hold on, share my screen, and I'm going to share with you a little trailer to this game. Alright, so what else is pumping besides gaming? I hope you liked that video. It does showcase a little bit of the gameplay, a little bit about what's going on. It actually has more gameplay right now that's functional than Axie Infinity. As for those of you who want to play it, there will be an alpha release that will not be connected to the database for those that want to play around with it pretty soon. And they'll be launching a beta that will be connected. It'll be a closed beta first, and it will be connected to the database, and then the game itself will be coming out fairly short order. Like I said, it's been in active development for a long time, so it is just about ready. Alright, what else is going on in this world? Well, Bitcoin is doing this. Yep, and look, it respected this trend line, came right back down, and we will see maybe some sideways trading for a while before a blast off. Did you notice when Paul was talking about it, he expected, there might be a big move coming early next year, which would fit in line with the idea of lengthening cycles. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, even though Bitcoin itself might not take off, that doesn't mean necessarily other things won't pump. And what has been pumping? Well, we have been seeing Bitcoin dominance, and remember, I drew this forever ago. It has gone down some more as things have been taking off, particularly the Solana ecosystem. Now, I hope you were able to get into Solana a couple months ago when I covered it, and that you thought, like I was, that Solana probably was at a good price. I also covered some projects on the Solana ecosystem, and it was very early, and it still is kind of early, though it's definitely not as early as it was. I mean, look at these kind of prices. I think this was around the pre-sale price, and so that is roughly 0.6 cents, and it's now trading for about 4x over that in just the past few days. Now, this is Solminter. I've asked Solminter if they'll come explain what they're doing on the ecosystem, and essentially they allow you to do some cool things with NFTs and everything on the Solana blockchain, and the Solana blockchain is getting a lot of attention. Now, part of this attention is because of Sam Bankman-Fried and his FTX exchange, and they have gone all in on Solana, and that is attracting a lot of development to the Solana ecosystem. So these are some of the projects that are currently out on Solana. Another one is InterSola. This is a launchpad for Solana, and we have seen it do amazing things. Now, I covered this back here when I think it came out. I don't know if this shows it. Okay. Yeah, it came out and was trading pretty low, and then about 10 cents, and now has gone, 9x from then? So it is absolutely going parabolic right now. Now, is 9x a good entry point? I would be cautious on that one. One that hasn't launched yet is Solyard Finance, and you can see them here on Twitter, at Solyard Finance. I think they're coming soon. So just a note on that. Also, another one that has been taking off is Luna's ecosystem. And notice it just broke above its previous resistance here. And it shot up again. And we'll probably... This is just a guess, and this is not financial advice. But it seems to me... See this kind of movement? Ends up following a move like that goes somewhat parabolic like this. Now, that kind of gain right there, that usually comes back and tests the trend line. But the trend line will be a nice rounded curve that goes up like this. Oftentimes, is the Terra Luna ecosystem gets more momentum. Now, do keep in mind their market cap already. I mean, it's not cheap like it used to be a long time ago. It's already number 11 on CoinMarketCap. It's got a $16 billion market cap. So how high can it go from here? Who knows? 4x, 5x, 6x maybe. So a lot of those gains have been had, and I do think it will do some good numbers from here. But those gains, I mean, what is still pumping right now, which is what we're talking about, is Luna. Does that make sense? So the bigger question is, what will be pumping next? And that's a hard question to answer, though I'll give you some ideas. So if you think about what would be pumping next, look at what might be having a cool down first. And ADA's ecosystem might be having a cool down. It depends on how smooth the hard fork coming up goes. If it ends up going super smooth and everything's functioning super well, it might throw a lot of attention towards it. But remember, in crypto, things usually pump coming up to a major event and then dump at the major event. Almost always. Not always, but almost always. So I expected it would play out more like that, or that was my highest probability that it would play out like that. Now, it did have a pullback with the rest of the market just a few days ago. And so I don't quite know what to expect on it. I'm leaning towards a cool down of the ADA ecosystem for maybe even a couple months. Profile pick NFTs, I'm guessing they're likely to have a cool down because they went red hot and probably a really big retracement. Now, I did have 7 Meebits. 2 of them sold off. I still have 5. I believe in that project good enough that if my sell orders don't hit, I'm not going to chase the market down. I'm just going to hold on to those for the next wave that goes parabolic. Now, DOT, interestingly enough, has been cool for a long time. This is the Polkadot ecosystem. And maybe it will be ready to blow off soon, right? Because it's been trading sideways and down for so long. That doesn't happen for forever. And eventually it moves into the spotlight and takes center stage. When is that? I don't know. Now, one of the things I am expecting to take center stage soon, it's just my guess, not financial advice. Just a crypto investor myself. I am often wrong, but don't confuse often with always. And that is a Comey. And I am expecting a Comey to probably blast off soon. And let me just pull up a Comey here. I love this one. If you haven't already, join our Telegram group. I don't always have time to do videos on every one of my thoughts, but I often do put them in Telegram and join many of you in there. Plus, I have some really smart admins in there that are very successful in their careers, and they like to post their thoughts. So it did go up to almost 0.5 cents. It's on this retrace here. But if you look at the bigger pattern of what we're seeing here, you're seeing this larger W. So what often happens in a W is it has a lower, it's lower on this side than the second side. But then when it hits this line, it then retraces some and then often takes off. And there's a major event coming up for a Comey in that they're moving over to the Ethereum blockchain, specifically Immutable X. But what this will allow is people to take the NFTs off of the VV app and then mint them over on the Ethereum blockchain so that they're then sellable and tradable there. My guess, or my understanding is, Comey is not going to necessarily allow all of them to be moved over because they're waiting on their licensors to sign off on that, but some of them, the licensors, are pushing to allow them to be able to be brought over to the Ethereum blockchain. And that will put a Comey right in focus as that happens, because some of these NFTs will be selling for crazy numbers, and that brings lots of dopamine hits. And like we said before, new people chase dopamine hits, as well as then you get all the YouTube coverage by every YouTuber covering all the crazy gains that were already realized. Now, who realized those crazy gains? Those with some foresight. What else hasn't taken off? Well, one of my long-term favorites is Wanchain, and Wanchain hasn't taken off. Now, it was trading as high as 240 just a couple months back before a general market pullback. But before that, last cycle, it traded almost as high as $10. And I feel like their technology has been amazing, but their marketing messaging hasn't gotten out. Now, maybe it never will, and so maybe I end up being wrong on this one, but I think I'm right on this. What else hasn't taken off? Well, DeFi has not taken off. So perhaps more DeFi is going to come into focus, especially more third-gen blockchain DeFi. So Solyard is launching soon, and I'm looking at what might be coming next. Now, like many of you, I am riding the Solana ecosystem wave, and I took many positions on that while it was boring. And I'll probably be taking profits on some of those. Not yet. I'm going to be riding them for a little bit longer as they really come into focus and people are talking about them. That's when I'll be taking some profits. And exactly what I'll be looking at next, I have continued increasing my Comey position as well as my Wanchain position. And I'm not exactly sure what's going to come into focus next, but be sure to join my Telegram chat because I often give my thoughts in there, especially on things that are going to happen relatively soon that I see coming, and I'll share them with you, as well as I'll try to keep you updated on the YouTube channel if you subscribe. I appreciate all of you who like the videos. That does help us grow, helps us get our message out. Now, you probably, if you've been a subscriber, you already know this. If you're new, I am just an investor myself. I've been doing crypto for 4 years, but I've been doing investing for 20 years. Now, 4 years isn't a really long time, though I know many of you are much newer than that. What I am good at is analyzing patterns. And when I was brand new to crypto, like everyone else, you're bad before you're good. But perhaps my learning curve was a little bit faster because I'd been investing for so long. And I figured out some things in crypto that have helped make me life-changing money over the past 3.5 years. And these principles seem to be solid and seem to work not just for me, but for other people. And so I share these principles on a continual basis. In fact, I have a wrap at the end that reinforces these principles. And you may think it's silly to have such a long outro at the end, and YouTube penalizes that because many people leave, and they do penalize it. But I still play it for you because even though I get penalized, I do hope that you appreciate what I'm doing and you give us a like, because I like to put it in there for those of you who just want the reinforcement of these principles. Because investing in crypto, although we tried to be non-emotional about it and very logical, we are human beings and we are emotional creatures, and so our emotions tend to take over. That's why I want to have this wrap done, and Charlie out of the UK did a phenomenal job on the wrap so that these principles can be reinforced just on a regular basis for you. Thanks so much. We will see you next time.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, you buy before you're good. Was taught to buy when it was boring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Why when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to studying to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge to gain show. Sticking at this run could soon become a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow would be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. In 2 years time the bull will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.